Surviving Defamation and Character Assassination, as we watch the trial of Amber Heard and Johnny Depp as Johnny Depp sues her for defamation. Who do you side with, Amber Heard or Johnny Depp? Hi, you're listening to Survival Talk Radio with me, your host, Dan-Shrigley. Come and learn survival. Proficient Protection Agency is based out of Alameda, California. If you have security service needs, Proficient Protection Agency can provide armed and unarmed security services. They service Northern California Bay Area, and you can find them at www.ppasecurity.com. Are you a fan of survival? Do you like all things survival? Full spectrum survival, urban survival, wilderness survival, how to escape and evade, lost or stranded, doomsday prepper, all things survival. You can find on www.daniel-shrigley.com. Come visit my official survival website at www.daniel-shrigley.com and learn how to sustain, survive, and escape and achieve rescue or self-rescue. If you want to advertise your company on Survival Talk Radio, just send me an email to daniel@daniel-shrigley.com, and we can make arrangements to advertise you or your business on Survival Talk Radio.
You're listening to Daniel W. Shrigley's Survival Talk Radio, the official Survival Talk Radio of America's Survival Son. Come and learn survival.
Well, I tell you who I wouldn't want to be right now. Amber Heard. That's right. You heard it here first. I'm telling you, man, the guy has too many character witnesses that have known him for a long time, and they know him well. And if you've been watching the trial, you're right where I'm at. I don't believe Johnny Depp laid a finger on her. And if he ever did, it was probably in self-defense. And I don't see a good outcome for Amber in this. And I think, what we need to take away from this is people can be nefarious. People can be malicious. And women, as well as men, to be fair, can be very spiteful, okay? And they will go so far as to lie and make claims that are not true. I'll give you an example that I've personally experienced. I was falsely accused without even my knowledge. I didn't find out until years later, actually. But I was falsely accused of domestic violence by my children's mother when we separated, and back in 2013 we separated, and the charges were dropped by the district attorney. And then because she made an allegation that I had put hands on her. And then again, she did the same thing in a different state, and I didn't know about it. And that was in 2015. I didn't even live in the same state as her. And she made, I guess, 2 claims. And a judge, 2 different judges, but from the same courthouse, both judges dismissed the case without trial because it was untrue and there was no corroborating evidence for her, and she was trying to be spiteful. So the judges dismissed the cases. I didn't find out about any of this until I did a background check just a couple months ago. And so she was trying to character assassinate me and defame me, and probably trying to get a restraining order or something, so that way it would look better for her in a family court trial for her to get custody of the children and all that kind of stuff. She was trying to pave the road with the stones, so to speak. But she got caught in her lie, and I wasn't even in Washington State back in 2015. I was in California and New York and in the lower southern states. And so, needless to say, justice prevailed even when I wasn't aware. So, and that is very nefarious. And that's just a mother trying to parental alienate the father from the children. And it's just ugly. So I personally can relate with Johnny Depp as far as what he's going through. And the only way you can survive character assassination and defamation of character through nefarious, malicious lies and deceit is exactly what Johnny Depp is doing now. If you don't stand up for yourself, and when you're in a position like Johnny Depp is, he's known all around the world, and his whole career has been derailed because no producer wants to do work with a domestic abuser, especially of a current actress that's doing major motion picture movies. Probably all the credit to Johnny Depp for the connections. It's sickening. It's almost like she has a fatal attraction or something for Johnny Depp, which there's probably a lot of women that have a fatal attraction for that guy. But needless to say, it's not right. Okay. And, I don't know that he did or didn't do something to her, to be fair. I don't believe that he did, just by what I've been hearing so far from family members and friends, and a little bit of the investigative journalism I've seen. It seems the majority of the people are kind of siding with Johnny Depp, that he's never displayed any kind of violence towards any woman. And he was in a relationship with his children's mother for like 14 years, and she had to go through his drinking and his recreational drug use and things like that. And in no way is he painting himself as a choir boy, perfect angel in his life, but in no way should he be falsely accused of being an abuser of women and have his whole career side-railed over a false allegation. And this trial is really the bedrock which is going to be able to clear his name, because he has lost projects and jobs, that would have made him a lot of money, and that he's a major part of, like Pirates of the Caribbean. and other projects he has going on. And it's so unfair for him to be tried and convicted in the court of media and social media and rumor mill. And this is why he needs to sue her, so that way an actual jury can decide if what was claimed against him was true or false. And what's sickening is that she has been caught, if you've listened to the testimony, that people have seen her without the black eyes, and that was after she had seen Johnny Depp. And then 6 days later, she shows up with black eyes and bruising, but there's no way she could have got it from Johnny Depp because he wasn't even there, and people were, saying something's not right about that, So, but this whole thing between the two of them has been going on for 6 years. So 6 years, this dude's career has been derailed, and it would really suck if it was derailed over a lie. And the good thing is if he wins, of course he's suing her, so he's going to probably win something from her, but it's going to clear his name when a jury says that she's, responsible for the damages. Unless the jury clears it and says, no, we don't think Amber's going to lose this lawsuit. We think Johnny Depp's going to lose it. That's up to the jury to decide. But from what I'm seeing, I don't see how the jury could let Amber Heard win. From where I'm sitting when I'm watching the court thing. And how does this relate to survival? Well, as I've discussed many times, there are many forms of survival, not just lost and stranded in the wilderness, not just, you crash from a plane crash or your boat capsize. There's emotional survival. There's suicide survival. There's addiction survival. And this is, can play into financial survival. This can play into mental survival. And this can play into reputation survival. So survival is a very broad, wide open thing, and that's why it relates to us having this discussion on Survival Talk Radio with me, your host, Dan Shrigley. And so I am leaning towards now that Johnny Depp never laid a hand on her, and she fabricated the bruising or had her sister do it for her. She got caught. Someone witnessed her sister fake punching at Amber, and then they were laughing about it after she made the accusations of physical abuse by Johnny Depp public. So, and I just think that that's really strange for a sister to fake punch at another sister who is supposedly, allegedly, a victim of domestic violence. It just doesn't seem like the character trait that should be, it shouldn't be a sister swinging a punch at your other sister when your sister has supposedly, allegedly been a victim of domestic violence. It just don't seem right. And then the fact that the two of them would laugh about it. So that's pretty trippy to me. And that also just makes me feel like Amber's lying and just trying to get over, and she's likes the power that she's getting and the notoriety. Now she's a victim's advocate and all this stuff. She's trying to elevate herself at the cost of somebody's career, and that's just disgusting and rotten if that's true, And if Johnny Depp did put hands on Amber, then he was very wrong for that. He needs to probably seek help for that. Maybe he was drunk one day, overtly drunk, and maybe he just lost himself and did it, and it was a one-time thing. But if this is, she's claiming this is more than one time. This is multiple times, apparently, throughout their marriage. And, and from what I'm hearing, it's actually her that's more of the aggressor. And when you listen to Johnny Depp's life story that his sister really laid out on the table, his mom was the aggressor in the marriage between all the children's father. And so Johnny kind of knows how to handle that by removing himself as fast as he can from the proximity of the individual. And, and I've been into that position where I'm trying to remove myself from the scene just to get away from, an intense argument. And I'm having that individual jumping in the way, trying to keep me from walking away, and just a whole bunch of crap. So, but I had a pretty critical relationship that was, really scary, actually, because they can just make allegations against you, and and law enforcement's gonna, they're gonna protect the person that's claiming to be a victim. Thank God that victim never had any evidence of bruising, and the stories never lined up. When I was accused of abusing my ex, the cops were like, well, she's got no marks on her, no bruising. But you have bruises and knots on you, on your head, and, would you like to press charges? I'm like, no, I just want to be separated. I want her to go her way and me go my way, and I don't want to press charges. This is not an everyday occurrence. It's, we're in the middle of separating, and she had an emotional moment, and, and plus we have kids. So let's just try to de-escalate the best we can. And so eventually, the next day I went on my way, she went on her way, and we physically separated permanently. And only once, like a year later, we saw each other again for the sake of the children. And then that was like in 2000. It was actually probably longer than a year. So for my situation, we separated in 2013 in like the Christmas. We separated our relationship wise. Then we physically separated geographically in like February of towards the end of February of 2014, and I went to California, and she stayed with the children in Texas. Then I was working in California, and then she ended up going to Washington State with the kids because that's where she's from and her family lives there, without telling me. So I was trying to make contact with her to make arrangements for the children, so that way I can see the children and still be part of their life. Although mommy and daddy aren't together, it's no excuse that the children shouldn't have a father. And she just wouldn't let me. And it was like she was punishing me for leaving her. But there's no way I could stay with her because she was an aggressive abuser in our relationship. And I didn't want to be around her because I knew she would try to set me up as she already had done. It becomes a very ugly thing. So with this whole Johnny Depp case, I personally can relate to it, and it's just horrible and very nasty. But the best thing you could really do is separate yourself. The people that know you well, if they really know you well, they'll stand up for you. But if they know you very well and they know that you do get violent, then they're not going to stand up for you. They're going to stand up for the other party. So when you see someone standing up for Johnny Depp, like you're seeing them, man, that just kind of tells me what she's saying is a lie, because there's no way that he just had, that she's the only individual in his whole life, from childhood to his stardom and fame to his later years that he's at now, that he's never had a run-in with anybody in his family, female or male, or friends. And every one of them is saying that he has never demonstrated any violent tendency. They've never witnessed him do anything like that. That's not his character. That's not how he functions. And that he will leave a situation before he would become violent in a situation. But then, I know that there's first-time offenders. So, this is where the jury is really important. And whatever that jury says is going to be finite. And it's going to be what it is. And, but so far in this trial, I'm leaning towards Johnny Depp on this. Because, one, I'm listening to the testimony. And two, I personally can relate to it because I've been through it. And I've been through it in a big way. And I've even had allegations put on me before of attacking a woman in a hotel room, which never was true. I got in an argument with an ex-girlfriend in a hotel room, and the police were called because we were yelling at each other because she was trying to do something to me, which was unfair, that in my opinion at the time was unfair. And I was like, well, no, you're not going to do that. And so she started yelling at me, but there was no physical contact. It was just two people yelling at each other, and, this is why I'm glad I found God. And this is why I'm glad I became a Christian, because by doing so, I look back at things that would make me get in an argument with someone. They're not worth it. It really isn't worth it. We're better than that, and usually you can see pause points with someone when you're having a heated discussion, and in an argument, people get to be a little selfish. So she wanted what she wanted. I wanted what I wanted. I was steadfast. She was steadfast on what she wanted, and I was steadfast on what I wanted. So, but being a Christian and walking my walk with Jesus Christ as I do today, I would let it go. And I would have just welcomed the separation and just let it be. And she and I would have worked things out in a day or two or a week or two. So the police came out on that call, and they determined there was no crime committed, that it's not illegal for two people to argue, but it could be illegal for two people disturbing the peace, arguing, disturbing other guests in the hotel. So they basically said, you guys should part ways, and we did. And that was it. There's nothing else came of it. But she turned around and went and told another individual that we got into an argument. And so what happened? He decided to turn that into a bigger thing than what it was and go around telling people in Hollywood that I attacked a woman in a hotel room. He got on social media and said, I attacked a woman in a hotel room. And that I never attacked anybody. We just got in an argument. Couples get in an argument. And so he went and contacted producers at a production company for a TV show that I was doing and try to defame me. And and then he would get onto the internet and leave comments on my posts and just being very childish, not knowing all the facts, not knowing that the police came and no charges were filed because no crime was committed. And he's accusing me of attacking a woman in a hotel room. But if I attacked a woman in a hotel room, the police would have arrested me and charged me, And we can tell that I never did that because I have a permit to carry a gun in the state of California, the most liberal state, all right? So, and you have to get that gun permit, you have to have, and this is a permit to carry a gun out in the open in California, okay? So you have to pass a background check by the Department of Justice and the FBI, all right? And they check every state, okay? So that fact that I have a active gun permit that was just recently issued to me by the state of California should go to speak volumes, because if in the past 10 years I had committed any felony or domestic violence, which is some states it's a misdemeanor depending on the level of domestic violence, and then majority of states I think it's a felony, I would have not been able to get a gun permit. So, and that speaks volumes on my behalf for my character, meaning I've passed background checks with the FBI and the Department of Justice to get that gun permit to carry a gun out in the open, exposed in the state of California. So technically, if I wanted to go sue Michael Hawk from the TV show Man, Woman, Wild from Discovery Channel, I could sue him for character assassination and defamation too, because he's wrongfully accused me and attacked me in front of social media. But what did I do? I knew it wasn't true, so I just let it go. I just ignored it, and eventually it subsided and went away, and so did he, because he was very distracted with harassing and attacking and accusing Joseph Ted-Eye from dual survival of being stolen valor and a bunch of stuff. So they even had a court battle over it. So, what can you do? So you can rise up and fight back and do what Johnny Depp's doing to rise up against the allegation. If it's not true, he's going to rise up and fight back. Now, if he did lay hands on her, then he would have been arrested. They would have charged him with domestic violence. He would have been apprehended by the police, but that never happened. So, and the same situation with me. If I ever did anything that I was being accused of doing by people that were just trying to ruin my career, and it's funny is people really go after your career because they know that's going to hurt you the most. If you're an actor or a public figure, they want to ruin your career. Even if it's not true what they're saying, they don't care, because their thrill is knowing I destroyed your career. And it's because they're getting off on that power. Okay? So the best things you can do is, one, ignore it and just let time ride out, or fight them back in court like Johnny Depp's doing. But there's only two ways to survive character defamation and assassination when your livelihood is on the line. So you can let time heal all wounds, all right? And the fact that there's no evidence. Now, this is, of course, you didn't do anything. Now, if you did something and, then by all means, time's not going to heal all wounds. So, but if you're innocent, okay, like I'm innocent, and I'm sure Johnny Depp is very innocent, all right, being falsely accused like I was, and like Johnny Depp's being, then that means, for one, it's wrong, and two, if you're guilty and you've done what you've put your hands on the woman, then your career is going to be over, and it's rightfully so. But like in my situation, Johnny Depp's situation, it's not fair that your career is over when you didn't do it. It was, false accusation. So to me, there's only two ways to survive it. Let time heal all wounds. There's no evidence to support it. Eventually it's going to fade away. Or fight back. See, Johnny, it's not going to fade away because he's too famous. He's already been kicked out of Pirates of the Caribbean and other projects he's had, but that perfume company, they've stood by him the whole time. Dior, they've stood by him the whole time, and that company's selling a bunch of perfume or cologne, with Johnny Depp's endorsement, and they took a little bit of heat for not bailing on Johnny Depp, but they said no, we don't believe he did it, and we're gonna stand by Johnny Depp, and their sales have gone through the roof. They've made more sales with Johnny Depp on that one bottle of cologne than they've made any other sales since they've been in existence. It's incredible. Their sales are through the roof all over the world. Everywhere that they sell their product, it's through the roof. So, and it's nice to see that someone stood by Johnny and they didn't bail on him, and I do understand that, when drugs or alcohol are involved in a situation, something could happen that would not have ever happened if you're sober, and if something ever happened when you're not in your right state of mind and you're sober up the next day or whatever, and you wake up to it and you're like, I will never do that again, just keep your word that you'll never do it again, because I understand, people do things when they're highly intoxicated that they would never have done. But that's still not an excuse. It's not an excuse. But as long as you keep it down to one time, people make mistakes. And I believe that people do make mistakes. And people learn from their mistakes. And if it's a one-time thing, you were, smashed drunk, you did this or did that, a one-time forgiveness, I think, might be okay. Depends on what you did and how bad it is of what you did. And it also depends on the person that you did it to and how they feel and how they know you and, like that. But, but if you're a repeat offender, then no, I don't believe in that. But, some people are more strict. Some people will be like, no, one time is too many times. And, and I think one time is too many times too. But at the same time, people do make mistakes, and so I think when I've come to the Lord and developed my relationship with Christ, or I've really gotten close to Him in the last couple of years, more so now than ever in my whole entire life. I feel a little more forgiving heart towards people. Now, I could forgive someone, but remove them from a situation or remove myself from a situation. So that way I don't experience that again. I have family members that I've kind of removed myself from because I don't want to be a part of what they got going on, or I don't like certain things that they do or say. And I just want to be subjected to it. So I just, let them live their life. I live my life, and I just, go my own way. I think we all have either friends or family that we kind of like decided, enough of that, and move on. And that's healthy for you. And there's nothing wrong with that. Okay. That's taking control of your life. And you should want to take control of your life. And you should be able to defend you, yourself, your family, your children, defend and do what's right for the good of the order. Okay. But do I think Johnny Depp is 100% innocent? Well, I haven't heard anything on the Amber Heard side. I haven't seen anything from that. But from what I've seen so far, I'm leaning towards he's falsely accused. But I would like to see the whole case, all the evidence. I would like to see maybe Amber Heard actually has something, but those photos, they were on a photo, I guess when they were received, they were coming from a photo editing app. So I don't know why they would need to be a photo editing. They can't be verified that they're original photos because they were on a photo editing app when they were handed over or collected as evidence. So I'm not sure all the details of that, but I heard that in the court case. And that has to draw a raised eyebrow as to, are these photos authentic or not, and, why is it just photos and not a video, but witnesses have said they saw her without bruising after she had seen Johnny Depp, and then Johnny Depp left town. He had business to take care of, and then 6 days later, she shows up with bruises while Johnny Depp's out of town, trying to say Johnny Depp did it to her, and then goes to the courthouse to bring on a motion of getting a restraining order and all that stuff. And it's just really nasty. And it's really nasty if someone's faking photos and bruising and evidence and stuff like that. That's just disgusting. All right. So if she is a liar, though, if it turns out that Amber Heard lied, then she needs to be blackballed out of Hollywood, 86th from all her contracts. She needs to be booted so she can't ever work in Hollywood as an actress again. And any endorsements that she's got going on, those companies kick her out and just say, we're done. We don't want to deal with you. What you did was so wrong. You'll never work in this company again. We'll never want you to be a celebrity spokesperson or whatever for us. And any movies like Marvel or Avengers or whatever, or Aquaman, whatever she's got going on, I think all her contracts should be canceled and fired. She should be fired and forced to go back to college and get a degree doing something else. Do I wish her harm? Of course not. I just don't think that. I think what she needs to, if she lied, okay, what she needs to suffer is the same thing she made Johnny Depp suffer if it comes out that she lied. And then Johnny Depp can then turn around and say, listen, you ended my career with Disney and Pirates of the Caribbean over a lie. And then now he can go sue Disney. And then he can go sue any other contracts that pulled out because of the false allegation that caused him financial loss. All right, and damaged his reputation. Then he can turn around and take litigation against those companies for breaking their contract over, something that a court determined was not true. And then plus he can sue. He's suing Amber. Hopefully he'll, win something that it will be in his favor, and she'll have to pay some damages. And it's probably not going to be a small amount. So, I don't know what their award will be, but she hasn't done as many movies as him. And so she's probably not making as much money. But this lawsuit is just bigger than Amber Heard. This lawsuit is going to clear his name for all the other projects that he lost, so he can get his, respect back, and his, the ability to bring litigation against people for breaking their contracts with him. And without this case, without this victory, if he gets a victory, he won't have anything to do that, because they'll be like, no, we can't justify putting you on a project when you domestically, when you are suspected of domestic violence against Amber Heard. We don't want to be associated with you. But if he gets cleared in this court by this jury, that will change all that. All right. And then if he's, that hopefully that will bring forgiveness from within his industry to him, so he can get back to making movies again. And hopefully it might even change his career for the better, just hearing the trial so far. So, but I can relate to Johnny Depp. I've been through this personally. There's people that are jealous of you when you're rising up and you're trying to live your dreams. I have people jealous that I went out and did survival show. I have people jealous that it started. I played a part in a movie, and the movie sucked. The movie was horrible. I thought the movie was going to be a lot better when it was being filmed, but after I seen it, after editing, the movie was like lousy. I was like, ugh. But you know what? As lousy as the movie gave me a screen credit and a speaking role, and it actually did help me get other opportunities. And so I can't hate the fact that I did the movie, but I find it funny. And so I'm glad it was my first film. And actors will do films that just bomb, and my first movie that I did bombed. Okay, so and that's just how it goes, man. I think that the director and the people that were editing the film, they need to go back to film school. they need to learn how to do a lot better. And the only way you get better at doing stuff is by failing. So, hopefully now their movies because they're filmmakers, hopefully their film projects get better and better. And it just, you have to get your experience somewhere, so, and I got a lot of experience just by being on that film, as an actor and being on set, and I met some cool people, and then I got to do a TV show for Discovery Channel. And, I met some cool people. I met some people I didn't like. But the experience was great. It was a cool experience. And I plan to make another TV series for survival. And right now I'm really focused on the radio show. But I'm open to doing more acting and getting a better acting part as well. So, all I could say is, if you're trying to survive something like Johnny Depp's going through, there's only two ways you can do it. Let time heal all wounds, or stand up and fight back. Okay? So the letting time heal all wounds, what that does for you is it's less stressful. You have to put your neck out there. Eventually people forget, unless you're a huge celebrity like Johnny Depp. But sometimes it's just let time heal all wounds. It's just like let the coals cool down. They're all hot and red. Air was being blown on them. But if let them cool down, and eventually people will forget that there was even a fire there. All right, and then you can stand up and fight back, and take them to court and make them put their money where their mouth is, make them back themselves up and show evidence and prove it. And if you didn't do what they said they did, then they shouldn't have any evidence against you that's tangible, real evidence. All right, and if that's the case, then you should be all good. All right, and win your lawsuit. Win back your reputation, your name gets cleared by a jury in a court of law, and hopefully that's how it works out for him. So I am interested to hear Amber Heard's evidence and testimony. I'm not sure how much that I will believe coming out her mouth, or her witness's mouth. I would like to see evidence, video, photos, and not the photos that are all doctored up, edited. Okay. The fact that they were even in an editing thing just makes me think that those pictures shouldn't even be admissible, because they can't be verified original. So it's basically like, it would be a mistake for her to even submit those as evidence against Johnny Depp if there's a probability that they've been doctored and edited, and because what's going to happen is Johnny Depp's legal team is going to call in experts to analyze the photo and tear it and look into the digital like fingerprint of the photo to see if it was altered. And if it comes out in court that it was, she's going to lose. And so it'd be better for her to not even submit them. But she's going to have to submit something. So I'm interested in seeing what that is, and I'm going to wait till the conclusion and see what the jury says till I really make a solid determination on where I lean. But so far right now, I'm leaning towards Johnny Depp, but it's because of the stage of the thing where we're at. I can't support I can't support a guy that's putting his hands on a woman. I do understand that some women do get in their man's face. I do understand that some women will attack a man, throw stuff at a man, like Johnny Depp's mom did to him and his sister and his father. And, his mom was pretty much a wild spark plug, so, but that didn't stop them from loving their mom, and so, my best wishes for Amber Heard and Johnny Depp. I hope that they can heal, put an end to this dispute, move on from it, and I hope that Johnny Depp can get his career restored, if the jury finds that he was telling the truth. If the jury decides that Amber Heard is telling the truth, then Johnny Depp needs to wake up and realize he's where he's at because he put himself there. But then again, people make mistakes, and hope maybe Hollywood will let him return, so to speak, if he promises not to do the same thing again. I don't know, because he is a great talent. And I'm going to share something about Johnny Depp. Johnny Depp creates characters, and then he gets into those characters. Dwayne "The Rock" Johnson, every character he ever plays, he just plays himself. Just doing, being some... So, Dwayne "The Rock" Johnson never changes who he is for a character. Johnny Depp will create a character, a new personality, completely different from who he is. That's an actor. Jason Statham, he only plays himself in every movie. Denzel Washington only plays himself in every movie. Harrison Ford plays himself in every movie. He's just playing a character, but he doesn't change his personality. His personality is the same. Even Ryan Reynolds. Ryan Reynolds doesn't change his personality. He'll play like Deadpool, but he's acting, he's doing the lines. Don't get me wrong, I'm not saying he's not an actor, but he is still just being his own personal persona. He's being sarcastic. He's sense of humor, right? He's not going and creating the Mad Hatter, then going and creating Edward Scissorhands, and then creating Captain Jack Sparrow. Johnny Depp is one of the very few actual actors that actually becomes something other than who he is in his daily life. All right. I mean, yeah, these actors can act out parts and characters, but they don't change who they are. Whereas Johnny Depp completely becomes somebody else, and that's amazing. So it only hurts Hollywood to outcast Johnny Depp, to blacklist him, all right, to cancel culture him, all right. And that means if that's all true, that he's innocent, then Amber Heard abused the Me Too movement to favor herself for her own selfish greed. And she, if she lied, deserves to have her career come to a screeching halt and all her deals broken. All right? That's my opinion. Where do you stand on this? Let me know. Send me an email to daniel@daniel-shrigley.com.
You're listening to Daniel W. Shrigley's Survival Talk Radio, the official survival talk radio of America's Survival Son. Come and learn survival.
Proficient Protection Agency is based out of Alameda, California. If you have security service needs, Proficient Protection Agency can provide armed and unarmed security services. They service Northern California Bay Area, and you can find them at www.ppasecurity.com. Are you a fan of survival? Do you like all things survival? Full spectrum survival, urban survival, wilderness survival, how to escape and evade, lost or stranded, doomsday prepper, all things survival. You can find on www.daniel-shrigley.com. Come visit my official survival website at www.daniel-shrigley.com and learn how to sustain, survive, and escape and achieve rescue or self-rescue. If you want to advertise your company on Survival Talk Radio, just send me an email to daniel@daniel-shrigley.com, and we can make arrangements to advertise you or your business on Survival Talk Radio. Hi, you're listening to Survival Talk Radio with me, your host, Dan Shrigley. Come and learn survival.